Hello, my name is Renee Reek, and this is my dissertation review. The dissertation I selected was completed in 2022 by Tiffany Crockett for the University of Georgia. The dissertation is on leadership for effective implementation of a multi-tiered system of supports, or MTSS. The purpose of this study was to explore effective leadership strategies for the developing, implementing, and monitoring effective interventions at the Tier 1 level for teachers in a rural middle school. The research design was a mixed method design, and the problem statement was, how can leadership in a rural middle school improve student achievement through the MTSS process? The dissertation had a conceptual framework as well as a theoretical framework. The conceptual framework presented in the study was Deming's cycle of continuous improvement, and the theoretical framework was adapted from Knowles' theory on adult learning and Bandura's social learning theory within an MTSS framework. Both Knowles and Bandura are found in the literature on professional learning communities. 3 research questions were presented in this study. The first one: what conditions are potential barriers for effective implementation of MTSS at the middle school level? The second research question was, what strategies are developed by a school action research team to enhance and support the effective implementation of MTSS? And the last research question: what does the action research team learn from developing and creating interventions to improve MTSS? The study took place in the 2021 school year in a rural middle school in Georgia. The school is Title I with 100% of the student population eligible for free and reduced lunch. 70% of the student population scored below grade level on the Georgia State Assessment. 38% were white, and 56% of the student population was African American. The researchers in this study were called the Action Research Design Team. This team included the principal, the assistant principal, and a district coordinator. The participants in this study were called the Action Research Implementation Team, and this included 4 English teachers. Participants were trained on MTSS Tier 1 core curriculum and interventions through a professional learning community. Research Design Team collected data by using focus groups and completing classroom observations. Several themes evolved out of this study. The team found that interventions needed to be research-based and scheduled during the school day. The team also found that PLCs needed to be in place and targeted on specific learning. The team also found that supporting and coaching from campus leadership was essential in the successful implementation of MTSS. There were several areas that I found well developed from this study. The first area was the inclusion of 3 different frameworks to support MTSS. The literature review was thorough in investigating MTSS, PLCs, and the role of leadership in establishing successful PLCs and implementing MTSS. Additionally, the literature review touched upon the challenges of leadership in a rural school. There were a few areas that I felt were underdeveloped. I would have included PLCs in one of the research questions, or a research question could have been whether PLCs are effective in the implementation of the MTSS process. Although the author claimed the study was qualitative and quantitative, the data collected seemed mostly qualitative, and observations were made without documentation of how the researchers controlled threats to the validity of the observations. If the study had linked the data to student achievement, then that could have shown a quantitative study. Some lessons that I learned in the review of this dissertation were to ensure my research questions are measurable and stay focused throughout the dissertation. Ensure the study shows an impact on student achievement, mostly because that, I think, is important and shows outcomes. The 2 models used were excellent. I like the use of continuous improvement and MTSS. They fit nicely together. Also addressing MTSS through PLCs makes logical sense. I would like to see the addition of MTSS for behavior in a PLC model as well. Thank you for your time. I always like to end a presentation with a quote. This one is very simple, but it seems appropriate when discussing MTSS and PLCs. It will take each of us to reach all of them.